Well, greetings from the Frugal Gardener's mini food forest. As you can see, I am back in the garden, and it's been a while since I have made any videos for this series. This is my autumn olive tree. You can see the berries are starting to turn. I'm the Frugal Gardener. I garden in Zone 7A, and I started a series, over a month ago on gardening with your kids, gardening with your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews. And I think I started a little bit too early. The reception wasn't what I had expected. School was still in session in most of the country, and now school is out. So this is round 2. This is the second episode. This is going to be different from what I usually film, what I usually show you guys, because we're gardening with children, and sometimes their attention spans aren't what you would like them to be. So I'm going to keep these shorter. So today I'm going to show you two of the fruits that I think that your children may want to grow. This is in need of some water. Things dry out pretty quick up here. I'll tend to that after I finish this video. So the first thing we're going to talk about is corn. Why corn? Corn because you want something that's going to get and hold children's attention. Corn is tall, it grows relatively quickly, and it's easy to plant. So I'm showing you here two different types of corn, and the reason why I'm showing you that is because corn will normally take you between 85 and 100 days to grow. We're not going to do that. We're going to use the on-deck hybrid or something equivalent to that. I got these from Burpee, and you can grow these in a couple of months. And it's going to definitely take you a lot less time. It's going to take you a little bit, about 2 months to grow these. You'll be surprised at how fast they grow. And the other difference is some corn, there are literally hundreds of varieties of corn. It's going to grow up to 10 to 12 feet. I chose this because this is going to be about 6 feet, 5 to 6 feet. So literally half the size. This post, this is about 5 feet. So a little bit higher than this post, 6 feet. That's it. Another reason why I chose this variety is because you can put 6 or 7 of these bad boys in a container. Yes, you can grow corn in a container, and basically you need about a 30-gallon container. I wouldn't go any smaller than that, but you can put 8 to 9 stalks in there. I would say 20 to 25 gallons would be sufficient. If you don't have that, you don't have to. You can direct sow. I have corn. Again, like I said, this needs some tidying up. I was focusing over here, and now I need to focus in over here. This was, believe it or not, this was watered yesterday. So this is the corn that I recently planted, and I got stuff going on over here. That's a whole nother story, but this is where this corn is going to live. Instead of putting it inside of a container, which if you don't have the garden space, then that's something that you can do. So the reason why, again, I selected this is because I want children to be engaged. I don't want them to be bored with this topic. I want to bring them in early. And if this is going to grow in about 2 months, then they're going to be able to notice the difference once everything starts to get going. So that's number one. This is going to go on for a couple of weeks. I said this before, but now that the children are out, in the future, we're going to grow not just regular bush beans, but these are purple beans. I'm going to grow rainbow carrots. I'm going to grow, um, uh, I'm seriously considering growing peanuts, but it's late. So we're just about 2 weeks away from July, and that's going to take, oh, there's a chipmunk. Huh. That's something that you don't see every day, at least not around here in my garden. So I have to be careful because I'm getting new critters around here all the time, and critters that like to eat my stuff. So I'm going to have to be careful with that. All right, so peanuts, maybe. It depends on which part of the country you live in. You might still be able to grow peanuts. Now, as far as the soil goes for the corn, you're going to need 3 parts soil and 1 part compost. I've talked about this before. This is in other videos, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but you mix those together and then you add them to your soil and you should be good to go. The last thing you need to know is sunlight. For corn, you most definitely need a lot of sunlight. You see cornfields all the time when you're traveling through the country. 6 to 8, that's a minimum. If you have too much shade, I would not plant corn over here. It's not going to do well. So 6 to 8 hours of sun is what you need for the corn. So now we talked about the corn. We talked about what we're going to grow in the future and what we may grow in the future. So number 2 for the day, I debated on whether to do 2 or 3 per video. And you guys tell me if you want 3 per video or just keep it at the 2. So right now, today, it's just going to be the 2. And the second one is this, cucumbers. The reason why I chose cucumbers is similar to the reason why I chose corn. Well, number 1, these are high yield. I just took out a couple. I have probably 4 or 5 different types of cucumbers. And this is what I grew last year. This is what I brought because these used to be 4 for $1. Now they're 3 for $1. But this is what we're focusing on today. These heirloom alpha cucumbers. And there's a reason for everything I do. But the reason is because these are fast growing. Again, in my mind, dealing with children, having raised children, and having a granddaughter, I understand that children will get bored. So you can direct sow now because the weather's warm enough. Like I said, we're going to be approaching July, but you can look at the date on this. This is the 11th. So we're talking about the date is 17th. So we're talking, look how fast these came up. This variety does not mess around. The reason why I picked these also is because there are 60 days to harvest. That's awesome. I mean, that's insane. In 2 months, you can harvest. In 2 months, I'll be harvesting cucumbers from here. So that's something that I am looking forward to. I have not tried this variety before. Germination, but germinations are going to depend upon the heat. Now that we're into the hot weather, you're talking about 3 to 7 days before your seeds will begin to germinate. You can direct sow, like I said. You don't have to put these in a container. I have cucumbers around here. I just put these in, and I'm going to most likely take these and add them in here because these were not doing well and they didn't make it. So I'll just take that tag out, replace that, move this over here, and I will put 1 in here, maybe 2, and I'll put the other one either in a larger container or I'll put it in the soil. Now, speaking of soil, this is different than what I usually tell you guys. Usually it's a 4-to-1 ratio, 4 parts soil, 1 part compost, or a 3-to-1 ratio. You get the idea. This is a 50-50. Because these are heavy feeders, because they are high yield, because they grow in a 2-month time period, you're going to need to give them a lot of nutrients, and they're going to need room to push through the soil. So 50% soil, 50% compost. So again, if you're using a container like this, what I would do is I would use a bin like this to mix a 50-50. You can see this is kind of like my graveyard. I haven't transferred this over to the trash yet, but this is what I've been doing for the most part since the spring, early spring. We're still in spring. And 50-50 is going to get you where you need to be. So again, I'm not pushing this brand. You can use any kind of brand you want, but this is the variety you want. I like to get the larger one. So there's 50 seeds in here. I will put this away. The seeds that I don't use, there's no way I'm going to use 50 seeds. I'm probably just going to use these here, and I'll put those in the refrigerator. I'll put them in a Ziploc bag, a sandwich bag, put them in the fridge, or put them in the freezer, take them out again next spring, and reuse them. So this is another fun vegetable to grow with your children. Now, say the best part for last. There were several reasons why I picked this, but the one that jumped out at me the most is the yield. We're talking a minimum of a dozen cucumbers and up to 2 dozen cucumbers. So let's say all 3 of these are, viable. They all make it. I transfer them, I nurture them, do what I need to do. You're talking up to 6 dozen cucumbers. Now that's at the high end. So I don't want to get your hopes up and then, you come back later and go, well, I only got 3 dozen, I only got 4 dozen. I'm saying you're talking minimum of 1 dozen. So if you have 3 plants, then you have 36 cucumbers with the possibility of doubling it to 70 something. So that's the reason why I chose this brand. And there's some activity over at the bird feeder. This is why I set this garden up the way I did, because I wanted to bring in the pollinators, to bring in the birds and the bees and the butterflies. This is my hummingbird feeder that I just filled up. I make my own nectar because they want to charge me $10, and I can make it with 2 cups of sugar and some water. So I come out a lot cheaper. All right. So I said I'm not going to keep you guys. These are the 2 for today. So high yield, 60 days of harvest, 50-50 compost soil, 3 to 7 days of germination. That's all basically that you need to know. But if you have questions, feel free to post them down in the comments. And also, I have a Facebook page where you can post your pictures or your children's gardening pictures. I'll put that link in. And I am sorry about not getting these videos out in a timely manner. For the next couple of Thursdays, 3 or 4 Thursdays, this series is going to continue. And if I get a good response, I may continue it even further. But that's it for today. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I am the Frugal Gardener. Remember, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Enjoy your day.